With a very sharp blade in her hand, she spread Amanga's leg apart and gave her the cut of her life. Once upon a time, in a vibrant African city named Lagos, there lived a young, beautiful, educated, working-class chick named Ego. Ego was such a determined, hard-working flight attendant with an admirable level of education, exposure, and confidence. Her nature of work had taken her around the globe, causing her to mingle with different caliber of people. Ego's vibrant smile made her the people's delight. Passengers always looked forward to seeing her lovely face. Due to the busy nature of Ego's job, Ego had no life outside traveling. She always got back from work so tired and worn out from long hours of standing. On one of Ego's trips, she stumbled upon a tall, dark and handsome passenger. The young man's gaze was fixed on Ego throughout the flight. While other passengers alighted from the flight, the young man remained on his seat waiting for an opportunity to interact with Ego.
Hi, beautiful. Ever since I boarded this plane, I have been captivated by your beautiful smile. My name is Emeka. Please, can we be friends?
Ego reluctantly smiled back and took his contact in order not to cause a stir. Unlike polished Ego, Emeka was a popular electronic trader at the popular Alaba International Market. Emeka was a dauntless hustler who did not deem school as important as business. He managed to complete his primary and secondary education, yet he was doing so well for himself with 3 shops at strategic locations in the market. On that fateful night, Emeka could not sleep. He stayed up all night checking his phone, hoping that Ego would call. Ego got home late that evening and called Emeka just to while away time. Before his phone could ring properly, Emeka quickly jumped up and picked his call. His Igbo accent obviously betrayed him as he spoke.
Hello, baby. What kept you so long? I have been waiting for your call ever since I left the airport. Do you want to give me a heart attack?
Ego busted out in laughter as she found his accent quite hilarious. Ego and Emeka's friendship grew over time. However, they never had time to see each other in person. Emeka, although not so educated, was determined to marry a very educated Polish lady. On one fateful evening, during their usual call, Emeka popped the question. Ego, being slightly over 30, was tired of her relative's constant question of when will she get married or settle down. She did not waste time to give Emeka a positive answer without knowing him very well. Emeka and Ego's wedding was a simple outdoor wedding. During the wedding, Ego noticed that Emeka's mother, Uri, was unusually close to Emeka. Uri interfered with almost every decision that was made at the wedding. It seemed like Emeka had no deciding power of his own. Ego made up her mind not to get offended. After all, Mama was not going to live with them. After their wedding, Ego wasted no time to take in. As her pregnancy progressed, she couldn't carry out all the activities she usually did with ease. At this point, Emeka's character began to change. Emeka had such an archaic traditional mindset. This was partly due to his level of education, exposure, and friends. He saw cooking or cleaning as an abomination for a man. Emeka, you can clearly see that I'm very heavy. I can't serve you food every single day.
A man has no business in the kitchen,
Emeka replied. Emeka compared his wife, Ego, to his mother, Uri, at every given opportunity. Ego was so disappointed at the mentality of the man she called her husband. On the morning that Ego put to bed, Mama landed in Lagos like a monitoring spirit. She immediately swung into action, completely taking charge over everything. Ego felt like a third party in her own marriage. Of course, Ego was grateful for her mother-in-law's help. However, it was getting out of hand. 3 3 months after the birth of Amanda, Ego resumed work. The toughest part was leaving her baby in the care of her mother-in-law. Mama, on the other hand, was so elated. One fateful evening, something very strange happened. Ego returned from her trip to find baby Amanda in severe distress. The child's voice rang as loud as the church bell. Ego was so surprised to see her child in such a bad condition. Out of curiosity, she undressed the baby Amanda, only to find strange tribal marks all over the baby's delicate skin. Mama! What happened to Amanda? The baby was running high temperature, so I decided to make small incision on her skin so that the local medication I came with can penetrate deep into her body. Mama replied. Ego was devastated. Emeka returned from work and Ego narrated the incident to Emeka, but Emeka did not budge.
This is no new thing. This is our tradition, and there is nothing wrong with it.
Emeka replied. Emeka, you should have at least sought my consent. How could Mama do this to our little baby Amanda? This is so unfair.
I am the head of this family, and I have the right to do whatever I want to do.
Emeka replied. Emeka's words pierced Ego's heart so much. However, she was not just hurt by what happened to Amanda. She was particularly scared of the type of man she married. 10 years passed, and Amanda grew up to be a very intelligent and inquisitive child. She was always at Ego's side, wanting to learn something new, just like her mother. On one fateful day, Ego traveled for work and left Amanda in the care of her father, Emeka. Ego returned impromptu the following day and met her husband, Emeka, washing his car outside their compound.
Ego, this one you are back early. Hope all is well.
Everything is fine. Some flights were cancelled, so I had to head back home. Ego rushed inside, dropped her bag, and returned back to meet Emeka. Where is Amanda? I have searched the entire house and she's nowhere to be found.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Mama came yesterday and took her for a short holiday in the village.
Mama again? Ego screamed. At the sound of Mama and village, Ego became very restless. She rushed back inside, changed her clothes, and rushed out of the compound. Emeka tried to hold her back, but her child was all that was on her mind. Ego's journey to the village was such a painful one. All sorts of thoughts ran through her mind. What on earth is Mama up to this time? Is my daughter Amanda even safe? Unfortunately, Ego was too late. Mama had traveled with Amanda to the village the previous day. Mama promised Amanda that she was going to the village for a carnival and she would meet and play with lots of friends. Amanda was elated and she couldn't wait to get to the village. On getting to the village, Mama took Amanda to a strange compound. Amanda only felt relieved when she saw other girls. At least she was sure that she was going to have a lot of play. Suddenly, one of the old women in the hut signaled Mama to bring Amanda in. It was then that Amanda realized that she was in so much danger. Amanda screamed in betrayal, with hot tears flowing from her eyes. The old woman's grip were too strong for her fragile arms. Amanda could not believe that the same woman she called her grandma was betraying her at this time. Amanda screamed with hot tears flowing from her eyes. The old woman's grip were too strong for her fragile arms. They pulled her into the room and laid her on a mat. Amanda kept screaming, hoping that her grandma, who she trusted so much, would have pity on her and release her. But instead, Mama held her tight on the mat. Another elderly woman walked into the room with a very sharp blade in her hand. She spread Amanda's leg apart and gave her the cut of her life. On that fateful day, Amanda was circumcised with no anesthesia or pain relief. Amanda's scream was heart-wrenching and deafening. Immediately Ego arrived at the village, She heard Amanda's cry from a distance. Ego ran as fast as her legs could carry her. She ran into the room, picked up her daughter, and cried so deeply. Mama, how could you be so cruel? How could you do this to an innocent child? This child is your grandchild, Mama. I have done the right thing, Ego. I only circumcised my grandchild to keep her a virgin until she's ready for marriage. This is a compulsory right for every girl child in this village, and my daughter will not be an exemption. Ego in tears picked up her daughter Amanda and headed back to the city. Their journey that day was one of the most painful journeys she had ever experienced. Little Amanda went from one infection to another and from one pediatric hospital to another. Ego wished that she could reverse what had happened to her innocent daughter Amanda. Mommy, why am I always sick? Why am I the only one that always falls sick in my class? Amanda queried. Ego was too scared to explain to Amanda what had happened to her on that fateful day in the village. Amanda grew up to be such a pretty young lady, and even in the university, Amanda spent all her life savings treating infections. Amanda got married to her heartthrob in her final year, yet Ego kept the circumcision from her as a secret. 7 months after Amanda's wedding, Amanda could not conceive. She visited different gynecologists and underwent several tests and procedures. Yet, there was no show for all her hard work. Amanda even took out time to seek the face of God in prayers, hoping to find a solution to her barrenness. Yet, there was nothing positive coming up. 2 years passed by, and Amanda was fed up and frustrated. One day, she woke up, packed her bags, and traveled back to her parents' house to have peace of mind. Amanda's parents, Ego and Emeka, were so glad to see her. However, Ego's heart was filled with guilt because she knew the reason for her child's infertility. Mommy, I'm so tired of this condition. I have done all I can and I am entirely fed up and exhausted. On that fateful night, Ego and Emeka were in a very heated argument. Emeka, it is you and your evil mother's fault that our daughter Amanda is passing through all this. Because of your barbaric traditional beliefs, our daughter has been through hell in this life. Emeka, who now had a clear understanding of the consequences of his traditional belief, was full of regrets and agony. Unknown to the couple, Amanda, their daughter, overheard their conversation and felt a sense of relief. Amanda immediately confronted her parents. Is this why I have not been able to conceive for so long? I was circumcised at a young age. I feel so disappointed that the people that were meant to protect me couldn't even protect me. But now that I know my problem, at least I can find a solution to whatever it is that is the cause of my infertility. That very night, Ego took her time to tell her daughter Amanda the story of everything that had happened right from the time that she got married to her father Emeka, and the incident of the circumcision and what was the outcome of the circumcision. The following day, Amanda packed her bags and bade her parents farewell and returned back to her husband. A few months later, Amanda set up an NGO specifically for female genital mutilation to help spread awareness and prevent people from circumcising innocent young girls